Hello everyone, welcome back to Lettuce Leaf. Today I am doing a speed build. So Camofrog has been living on the beach ever since he moved in, because that's just where all my houses are at the moment. But I wanted to build him a marshy, swampy kind of area, with him being a frog, and I wanted something very water-centric within the jungle as well. So to begin with, I've just gathered a whole bunch of items, as you can see in the background, thrown them on the floor, anything that I think I could use for this build. And I'll skip through this next bit as I'm just terraforming a big area of water. I'm sorry if I sound a bit different today. I am slightly under the weather as we had no power yesterday and my house was freezing. So naturally my immune system's gone. Bye! So yeah, this is the water terraforming. Now you may notice that I have done this next to a river because I had in mind how I wanted the land to be between these. I didn't want like big chunky areas of land. I wanted that little sliver as like a really tucked away little walkway. One thing that I did really want to make sure that I had enough room for was some trees, so where I've got that one bamboo on that smaller patch of land, because I didn't want it to be super open. I wanted it to, like I said, be a bit more covered, be a bit more hidden. As you might notice, I'm getting closer and closer and closer to where I have placed all of those items. What I do end up doing, I didn't bother making you sit through it, is grabbed all those items, moved all those trees and just put it all slightly further over to the left, because what I decided to do, that back bit looked far too open for what I wanted to have the end result as. So I shoved it all over to the left, and then I decided I wanted to build up some waterfalls, because when I've been looking at pictures of jungles, like real life jungles, there's always these big cascading waterfalls hidden throughout them. So I really wanted to make something like that, and on this back corner where you could really see it, I thought was a good place. So now I'm just building up the cliffs, making sure that I've got enough cliff area for 2 layers and for trees and stuff and the rivers and everything that I want to put there. That one small waterfall that I do put there to begin with was just to make sure that I can put that waterfall there, because I always end up terraforming something and then the game says no, you can't have that there, and my entire vision is ruined. So I thought ahead this time. One thing that I really don't like when I'm building cliffs is having those really straight, sharp edges. So I ended up bringing this slightly further out to make sure that I could round it all off. And to begin with, I really wanted a tree there, which is why I'm messing about with that for a little bit. But in the end, I ended up taking that out and just putting more water there and having plants and stuff, because it looked a little bit out of place just having the one there. This back bit of river on the top took me so much time, because at first it was too straight, and if I had it off to an edge there was all these right angles, and then the larger bit to the right, if I had it terraformed one way, it was just like a straight diagonal line. it was a faff. It must have taken me like a good half an hour of real time just messing about with that one bit at the top. Back up here, trying to make something work. I still haven't decided at this point, but I know I wanted some sort of light source on here. But I didn't think the blue mush lamp fit with what I had going on. I thought it looked a bit out of place, so I went for this yellow one instead. I've recently become like obsessed with these floating planters that I just put on that little ledge with the black tulips. I used to really dislike them, I can't remember why, but now I have like 20 in my storage because I just want them everywhere. I don't know what in my head has gone, yes, we need all of them, but I'm obsessed. I really enjoy how the palm trees overhang across whatever they're next to. So it just builds it out a little bit more and has more of that tree canopy that I really like. Custom patterns are so essential, but what you might notice is I use the same ones a lot. So you don't need to use up every single pattern slot to have something on the floor. Like, you can reuse them and have a really good mix of them without going crazy, which I think is a hurdle a lot of people stumble over. Again, this top bit, I couldn't really decide what I wanted there. I wanted some height to it, so I've got the tree and the mush parasol, but I wasn't sure what else to put there that really like made me think, yeah, this is exactly how I want it. So I ended up messing with this bit quite a lot as well. A great tip for when you're decorating, especially like an area that's away from your house, or that is quite a large area that you need a lot of items for, is you can pick up your mailbox. If you didn't know, you just pick it up like you pick up anything else, and you can place it wherever you want to. This is after your house is like past a certain stage. I think it's only like the first or second upgrade, so I just took my mailbox with me, put it down, and then anything I'd ordered I would just grab out of the mailbox as and when I needed it, rather than having my pockets full of stuff constantly. It was like having some of my house storage with me. These cliffs around the side I wasn't as bothered about, like on this lower level, but I didn't want it to be completely plain, so I've just thrown some roses and a little frog down there, and a bit around the side, but not all the way back, and I haven't obviously bothered decorating around the back of it. I just didn't see the need. So this bit, you might notice, does have that right angle edge, but with a bush you can't really tell as much, and I didn't want to have just this huge waterfall that's like 3 squares wide. I like it trickling in. The half-grown bamboo is like my current obsession. So you can grow the trees, the fruit trees, the cedar trees, the bamboo to a certain stage, and if you want to stop it, get a piece of fruit. I think I use cherries, it really doesn't matter. Dig a hole next to it, plant that new fruit tree, and it won't grow past that point. So it's a really nice way to have a little bit of diversity in your tree heights, because obviously they all tend to stop at the same height. But that's a nice little way that you can have some smaller trees. I also run to the front of this lake quite a bit just to get an overview and to make sure that I've built enough and that the lake is big enough for what I want it to look like. So if you see me running to that bit quite a lot, that's what I'm doing. I'm checking the perspective of everything. Just throwing more custom patterns down, more bug models because they are like essential for this build. And then just some little bits about to make it look more lived in, like the water bucket and the little pump. I also think the wash tubs look great around here to make it look like your villagers are doing their washing. You could have little lakeside barbecues, there's so much you can do. I do have an idea already of what I want to put next to this build, so that might be upcoming shortly. As you may notice, Cherry will not stop fishing, and then later on Melba and I think Olivia wouldn't stop walking around this area, but I realised I needed to terraform that bit of the lake that she's fishing in, and she would not move. Like, she had decided she was fishing there, that was it. Game over. Go do something else. Now this is when I decided I was happy enough with the surface area of the lake and the stuff in the background, so I just needed to find an area for Camofrog's house. So to begin with, this is very, very blocky. There's no nice rounded off corners, it's just a big rectangle. What I did know I wanted though was stepping stones. I didn't want to just have like this land mass towards it, I wanted to have it more how you would expect it to be in a lake. Also, he's a frog and they like to hop on lily pads, so I like the idea of like little frog hops to the frog's house. So that's when his house is placed. These items that I'm chucking down are just placeholders more than anything. What I forgot to mention in the intro, which I thought was like a really cute little thing to have, was that I put my face paint as mud on my face, so it looked like I was playing around in the mud as I was terraforming this. Which I just thought was really cute. I found it when I was looking for patterns, but I really liked it. So now I am just going to skip ahead to the next day and show you all the finished product. So I just built up this area a bit more, put some trees in, some mushrooms, a little bench, somewhere to sit, you know, hi CJ, just to make it like, just to have it less open, so there's obviously the beach is there than the ocean. I didn't want that to be just flowing off, I wanted to have it more blocked. I also changed the shape of the island his house was on, now it's here, changed the items up a little bit. I think this looks better, rather than just a rectangle. And then to this And then I have the log bridge here. I put some mushrooms on it and the seaweed, which I thought was a really nice detail. Up here we just have more of the trees, just really building in this area.
I also added a few lights throughout because I didn't want it to be super dim. I still wanted to be able to see where I was going at night. Added a few more plants here and there and just built it up a little bit. I didn't want to build it up too much because then I don't know what I'm going to have in the surrounding areas and that. So that's everything for Camofrog's new home in his swampy, marshy, lakey area, whatever we've decided to call this. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new, and comment down below whatever you want to comment. I can't think of anything. Bye!